So I was reading something interesting recently regarding savings and the culture of savings in South Africa. And among South Africans as a country, the national savings rate is around less than 15%, where other comparable countries, emerging markets such as China, such as India, their national savings rate is around 29% plus. All right, it's a real strong indication of those economies, how they're growing, how the middle class is prospering, whereas South Africa, we're moving backwards, and that's really scary. And imagine if, as an individual, we had enough money to run us through that whole lockdown period. It would have been much sweeter. We would have come out of that a little bit better. The numbers wouldn't have been so horrific. And I wanted to share with you this report on some of the reasons on why the level of savings in the country is so low. And one of the main reasons for this is because there's no real growth in our income in terms of our household incomes and also in terms of corporate profits. So I want to read the snippet from this report to you because I don't want to mess it up. Okay, it says, since 2010, household real disposable income has only grown by an average of 2.2%. Now that's lower than the rate of inflation. In 2019, the growth rate was a mere 0.3%. Now this is before the whole lockdown. Remember, we went into lockdown March 2020. The same trend is evident in South African corporate operating profits. Since the year 2000, real growth in operating profit dropped significantly from 15.3% year on year to minus 0.6% in 2019. In fact, since the global financial market crisis in 2009, corporate profit growth has not recovered to its pre-crisis level, staying below 5% year on year. Now, understandably, the low income growth for households and corporates since 2010 is in line with the weak domestic economic growth. And this is where it really hits home why we need economic growth in our country. Given that tax on income and profits account for over 50% of the total tax revenue, slowdown in both disposable income and operating profits affect government income, and as a result, 5 consecutive years of tax revenue under collection, causing large unintended dis-saving by government. So even government is not in a position to save because even their income is low. So if our incomes are low, if corporate profits are low, government national savings is low as well. While income growth has slowed, resulting in deceleration of a savings rate, because we're not earning more, cost of living is going higher, we have less to save. In addition, the very significant factor that has also contributed to the fall of savings is the dynamic income distribution in South Africa. Okay, we have a high disparity among our income earners. Unemployment increased to around 40% in the first quarter of 2020. Okay, only 20% of the population in South Africa earns around 68% of the income, but 49.2% of the adult population lives below the upper bound poverty line, which is 1,222. So one, we're getting less income into our households, we're getting less income in corporate profits, and obviously if corporate profits are less, we're going to earn a little bit less if we're employees, if our businesses are not earning as much. The second driver of a low savings rate in South Africa is consumerism. Because think about it, right? We're earning less or not as much as we would have. The businesses are not doing too well as we would like, but still we have high amounts of consumerism. And it's not just reckless spending. The report calls it conspicuous consumption, where we're looking for status symbols, the latest phone, the latest handbag, the latest pair of designer jeans or whatever the high-end consumers are buying these days. We're buying these status symbols. We are swiping the credit card. We're taking loans to really be seen as successful. If you're driving a fancy German car, all right, you made it in life. You have a certain kind of watch on your wrist, you're seen as successful. We really need a change of culture in South Africa when it comes to spending. For me, success is in the midst of the storm. You can still smile through that while the whole financial crisis is happening before you, around you. You are far more successful than anybody else. Material possessions are not a symbol of success. And that's a culture that we need to be changing in South Africa. Now, because there was a request by a couple of you where you wanted help with your finances, you wanted to be saving more, you wanted to be investing more, you just don't know how to wrap your head around this money thing. We've come up with a mastermind where I will work with you in a group setting for 16 weeks. There's just 10 spots available. I think we have the last 3 available. And if you're keen on joining that, click on the link where you're watching this video. The link is in the bio and you can sign up. It's for the next 3 people only. So in the 16 weeks, this is what I'm going to be covering. We're going to try and identify where your money is going. We're going to try and structure around where your money should be going. We're gonna go in depth into budgeting, a debt payment plan. I'm gonna really teach you as much as I can, as basic as I can, about inflation and how you can go about combating inflation. We're gonna look at building your financial foundation, look at setting up a savings plan, a savings strategy for you, an investment strategy, how you can invest for retirement at whatever life stage or age that you're at. How to invest for your kids, how to build generational wealth, basic understanding of your personal income taxes, how to start investing in property, both listed and unlisted, and how to really shop like a boss in South Africa, how to build passive income. And we're going to look at delayed gratification, which is one of the major contributors of the low saving culture in South Africa. People just do not know how to delay gratification. Now, iPhones are nice, fancy phones are nice, the watches are nice, but you can't go and borrow for them. Okay, you got to plan for them, and that's what this mastermind is about, is teaching you how to spend and how to spend wisely on your money. So if you're keen on joining that, last 3 spots are available. Click the link in the bio, and we get started next week. It's every Wednesday for an hour, every Wednesday night. It happens online. Doesn't matter where in the country. It's not limited to South Africans, by the way, okay? It's open up to everybody. A lot of the rules are, especially investment and taxation rules, are based on South African legislation. But the basic principles of money, doesn't matter where you are, it stays the same. So I'd love to see you inside that masterclass. We get started next week, Wednesday. Click that link, and yeah, we could be chatting in a group setting.